everyone, it's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. And for today's video, we are going to take a look at the performance review of the Puma Stewie 1. Alright, so starting off with the traction on the Puma Stewie 1. At the bottom of the outsole, you do have this semi-translucent outsole here, basically running from the heel all the way to the toe. And it is kind of a neon green or volt colorway. And you basically have these little clouds that kind of look like herringbone traction, and then lightning bolts that are going down right here at the midfoot. And then right here at the heel, you kind of have this little star as well. And how this performed on court for me was absolutely amazing. They do collect a ton of dust, but honestly, a quick wipe or two every 5 or 6 plays, and these are gonna have you covered. But I will mention that I have heard that the solid outsole for the Puma Hoops Stewie ones have not been performing that good. So I would caution you guys. And the rubber compound is pretty soft as well, very tightly knit. So I don't think I would bring these outdoors. But as far as this colorway goes, this Volt colorway, the traction for me performed amazing. So I don't have too many gripes. But I would just keep a caution on those solid rubber outsoles. But for me on the Puma Stewie 1, as far as the traction goes, I'm gonna have to give these a very solid 9 out of 10. So as far as the cushioning goes on the Puma Stewie 1, Breanna Stewart's signature model, you do have this little logo right here that does say nitro foam. So you are getting nitro infused foam in the Puma Stewie 1. It's not quite as good as the Mellow MB01 or 2s in my opinion, but it's still pretty nice underfoot. In the forefoot, you're getting a pretty good court feel and low to the ground feel up front in the front of the Puma Stewie 1. And then at the back of the shoe, as you can see here, it's very thick, very dense. It definitely takes some time to break in, a couple hours. But after you break it in, you do get some decent compression at the back of the shoe, but it's not as soft as the Puma MB02s in my opinion. So it's nothing that's really crazy underfoot, but you will have that protection at the back of the shoe. As far as the heel to toe transition, it is a pretty flat shoe as you can see here, and it just offers a nice free flowing feel from heel to toe. So really no gripes there as well. But I would just mention that this cushion setup is pretty dense. So I would like to see if Puma can kind of tinker with their nitro foam to not make it quite as dense, especially here in the Puma Stewie 1. I really enjoyed the pucks in the MB02s in the heel and forefoot. Those pucks seem to be a little bit softer than what you're getting here with this really chunky heel counter. But overall, the cushion isn't bad in my opinion, but if you're used to playing in Air or Cushlon, this is going to be a little bit more on the firm side. So as far as the cushioning goes in the Puma Stewie 1, I would have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So as far as the materials go on the Puma Stewie 1, you do have a synthetic heel counter here at the back of the shoe. As you can see here, it does wrap around. And then they're calling this mesh upper a disruptive upper, and it has all these perforations in the upper of the Puma Stewie 1. It's basically just a kind of standard mesh in my opinion, honestly. It's really nothing special, but it feels amazing on foot. There's no extra space within this shoe for me at least, so I really enjoy the materials on the Puma Stewie 1. And you also have this fuse ran that runs from the top of the shoe right down here to almost the toe box as well. So we'll talk more about that in the support section for this shoe. But overall, it's kind of a cheap setup, but I really enjoyed it on foot. And I'm not really mad at all what they did with this shoe, especially for the price point. So let me know what you guys think as far as the materials go if you've played in them. But like I said, they're very free flowing once they're on foot, no extra space, and they actually offer a ton of breathability in this upper because these are basically little cutouts on the Volt portion of the upper. So as far as the materials go, I'm gonna have to give them a pretty solid 8 out of 10. I'm not mad at all what they're doing here with the Puma Stewie 1. So as far as the weight goes on the Puma Stewie 1, this is a size 12 women's, a 10.5 in men's, and on foot it doesn't feel overly heavy, but it is a low top shoe and it is pretty clunky in the heel. So as far as the size 10.5 goes, These do come in at 16.45 ounces. So I would say it's pretty close to the Nike Zoom GT Cut 1. So as far as the numbers go, this is a pretty heavy basketball shoe, especially considering it is a low top. But on foot, it does not feel heavy at all. So I just wanted to mention that. So as far as the weight goes on the Puma Stewie 1, they're a little bit on the heavier side. As far as the fit goes in the Puma Stewie 1, it's going to be pretty quick as far as covering the fit goes. I would say go true to size, but just keep in mind that this is a women's basketball shoe. This is Breanna Stewart's first signature shoe with Puma. So I'm a size 10.5 in men's, and I got a size 12 in women's, so you do have to go up 1.5 sizes. So as far as the fit goes, my toe is basically right here at the end of the shoe. It's very snug. It doesn't really take any time to break in, and there's no movement as far as my foot within the shoe, and that has to go hand in hand with support. But as far as the fit goes, I think if you go true to size, you'll be good. If you're an extreme wide footer, I would say go up half a size, and these will have you covered. But keep in mind, this material at the front of the shoe is pretty free flowing, and it does not take any time to break in at all. So again, as far as the fit goes for me and my foot, I enjoyed it. So I'm gonna have to give it a very solid 9 out of 10. So one other thing I wanted to cover as far as the fit goes is the tongue. You do have this half booty construction tongue on the Puma Stewie 1. It's also very padded, and you do have this extra eyelet here as well, so that tongue's not going to be moving around on you while you're playing. So the overall fit on the Puma Stewie 1, in my opinion, is nothing short of amazing. So as far as the support goes on the Puma Stewie 1, I find this to be one of the best, if not the best feature of this basketball shoe. Starting at the back of the shoe, you do have a very rigid internal heel counter. Keep in mind, this is a low top basketball shoe. Your foot is also sitting ever so slightly within that midsole. So on hard lateral cuts, you do have that kind of aiding your foot. And then this fuse ran that runs from the ankle all the way down to your pinky toe. It runs all the way on this upper of the basketball shoe, and coupled with that disruptive upper, it's a mesh upper, but it's very supportive. So on hard lateral cuts, you're not going to have any issues. You do have that standard traditional lacing system, but keep in mind, these two bottom ones here, they do run into the footbed. So the harder you crank these two, it is kind of adding this extra support feature with these little cables running down into the footbed. It's also on the medial side as well. So great job, Puma, specifically Jeremy, the designer of the shoe. Great job. You do have this outrigger right here, and it's very large. And basically, an outrigger is preventing your foot from teetering over when you're landing, or when you land on someone's foot. It's very wide at the bottom of the shoe. It is flat as well. So the overall support features are fantastic on the Puma Stewie 1. And also the torsional rigidity. I can barely move this shoe. There is some decent forefoot flex, but the overall rigidity at the back and at the middle, you're really not going to have any issues as far as the support goes. So like I mentioned, for me and for the support of the Puma Stewie 1, I'm going to have to give it an amazing 9.5 out of 10. It's basically a perfect supportive basketball shoe. And let me know what you guys think if you've played in these and what you think of the support. You do also have that fuse ran running down the medial side. So it's nothing overly invasive in my opinion, but Puma really knocked it out of the park with the outrigger, the internal heel counter, the fuse ran, and those two extra eyelets at the bottom. I really have no gripes, but let me know what you guys think as far as the support goes. And just real quick, as far as the aesthetics go on the Puma Stewie 1, I really like the design aspects at this external heel counter, that synthetic leather, just all of the kind of wave patterns that you have. And then she did tear her Achilles tendon, so you do have those stitch marks here. Overall, I think this is a beautiful basketball shoe. Jeremy over at Puma Hoops is doing a fantastic job. And I also wanted to shout out to Derek from Montana. He is actually the reason I have this shoe. He mentioned that he was coming down with some family to Calgary, Alberta, wanted to get together and hoop, and he gifted me this pair I have right here. So I'm definitely appreciative, Derek. Thank you for bringing these down and gifting me the Puma Stewie 1. Let me know what you guys think of these down in the comments, and if you guys have tried them out. Let me know what you guys think, and keep it locked to the video at the end of the video, as I will have some on-court footage. And as always, if you guys can like, comment, and subscribe, that helps the channel out a ton. And check out my Instagram over at 23mj88, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. And again, shout out to Derek for bringing these over from Montana, meeting up to hoop. I'm definitely very appreciative of you bringing the shoe over for me and gifting them to me. It's definitely a shoe that I will be hooping in moving forward. But as always, thanks for watching today's video, and until next time, peace.
I'm in sync with the earth, 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'ma ride for the squad, light up tires in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I'm never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen Lincoln Tyson, through that I survived, doing 80 to the house. Then I hit it to the sky, changed haters on a tirade. Talking to their grip in the face, be still, let that hit stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bib. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense, cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, pin myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we knowing that it's cap. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, limit time when I chat. I'm burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror, yeah. Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see the ass, and he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it